Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 20th of February 2023 and looks like the month of February is definitely good for Bitcoin, cryptocurrency and the general cryptocurrency ecosystem. Now over the weekend, I was under the assumption that the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies would collapse. Fortunately, that thing did not happen and the global cryptocurrency market is staying strong at $1.11 trillion. This is really great because usually what happens over the weekend, the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies tend to fall down, but surprisingly, the prices of Bitcoin has pumped up to the moon, and a protocol called as Stacks, which is planning to build decentralized apps on Bitcoin blockchain, has been up by over 100% since the last 24 hours. So we'll definitely go ahead and look at what is Stacks. Now look, guys, if you're a Bitcoin maximalist and an OG in the Bitcoin world, you would have definitely heard about Stacks. So in today's episode, I'll very briefly touch base on what is Stacks. And last week, guys, we also talked about NFTs getting into the Bitcoin blockchain. Now look, this whole notion, Lightning Network, not blockchain, is definitely gaining a lot of momentum. And if you were to ask me personally, I do think that Bitcoin is the only thing that the world needs. I'm not a fan of blockchain protocols, definitely not a fan of Web 3.0 as well, because I do feel that Web 3.0 is just a marketing gimmick to get investments from venture capitals and hedge funds and quite a lot of other. Now in today's episode, we're also going to be discussing a bill which has been passed in a crypto-friendly state of Wyoming. And what that bill does is it protects citizens from having to disclose their private keys. So most likely, if this bill is approved, it will take effect on the 1st of July 2023. But I have one worry regarding this bill. Now let's say if this bill were to be passed, what happens to citizens that are not in that state? Does it mean that the citizens are not protected? So we'll very briefly go ahead and touch base on that. Now regarding DeFi, we have some news, and this is to do with decentralized finance merging with traditional finance. So MakerDAO, one of the OGs in the Bitcoin world, often called as BoomerDAO, is merging with a bank in Florida. So we'll definitely go ahead and explore that thing. Now regarding Binance, we have some negative news, and looks like the market cap of Binance USD is going down. And last week, guys, we talked about the drama that is going on between Binance, Paxos, and the Securities and Exchange Commission. Now, like we do in every Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, I'm going to be discussing two news from Dubai and UAE, and both the news have to do with Web 3.0. The first news is that blockchain technologies and Suvik Technologies have some kind of partnership to accelerate Web3 adoption. So I'll go ahead and explain and give my thoughts and opinions on that. And the second news is about Tykhe Block Ventures, and they did close a $30 million funding, and this funding will be used for blockchain growth, and they've made 25% commitment to MENA region. So we'll definitely go ahead and explore what that news is all about. So let's kickstart today's episode. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee Date, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as you kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee a Date has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. They'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us, from the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies. We'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee a Date. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee a Date, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee a Date, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates, and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events, and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee at 8 aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Firstly guys, Startup OI is global one tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called Rise in the Obstacle Course Race, and Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now guys, since you've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now the price of Bitcoin is definitely up and the global cryptocurrency market is at $1.11 trillion. Now since the last 24 hours though, it is down by 0.62%. Now the total crypto market volume over the last 24 hours is $61.64 billion, and since the last 24 hours, it is up by 46.13%. And look guys, if you're looking at the numbers, what I really like about the last 24 hours is that the volume in DeFi has exponentially gone up. And one thing guys, which I've often been saying is, once you truly understand what Bitcoin is, you truly understand what it is not. Now let's look at the volume of DeFi. The volume of DeFi has gradually pumped up as well. Now this number is great considering the fact that it is on a weekend. Usually on Saturdays and Sundays, the volume on DeFi definitely tends to go down, but surprisingly this time, it is at $7.30 billion, and the total value locked is still about the $50 billion mark at $50.08 billion, and Lido is still dominating at 17.68%, and the total value locked for Lido is $8.85 billion. Now if you look at the volume of DeFi protocols still account for 8.99% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. The next one I'd like to talk about is MakerDAO. Now, so far as the total value locked is concerned is $7.46 billion, and later on in the episode, I'm going to be discussing where MakerDAO is voting on a $100 million loan participation with a bank in Florida, and I'm going to be giving my opinions and thoughts on this. Now look guys, only in 2023, Lido is dominating the total value locked. Now in 2020, 2021, 2022, MakerDAO protocol was the leading contributor. so far as the total value locked is concerned, and as of today it is number second at $7.46 billion, followed by Curve at $5.02 billion, Aave is at number 4th at $4.97 billion, and Convex Finance at $4.27 billion. So later on in the episode, I'm definitely going to be sharing more information regarding MakerDAO protocol. Now let's look at the volume of stablecoins. The volume of stablecoin is low, and what I really liked is that the volume of stablecoin accounts for a lesser percentage than regular days. It is still extremely high at 88.88%, but in other days it is well over 90%, in certain cases even over 95%. Now if you look at the volume of stablecoins, Tether USDT is still leading the pack with $43.17 billion, Circle USDC at $3.62 billion, and Binance USD's volume is still strong at $8.02 billion. And later on, guys, I'm going to be discussing that the market cap of Binance USD has gone down. Despite that, the 24-hour trading volume is at $8.02 billion. So it looks like people in the Binance BNB chain, and generally people are definitely using Binance USD despite what happened last week. But nonetheless, the market cap is definitely on a downtrend, and this number should not be surprising because CZ in his tweet did actually state that in the next coming weeks and months, probably in the next coming years as well, there is a very high possibility that the market cap of Binance USD might be going down. Now guys, let's discuss the market share, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin's market cap is at $470 billion. It just might cross the $471 billion mark maybe in the next couple of hours. Ethereum is at $205 billion. It is well below the 50% mark of Bitcoin's market cap. The 24-hour trading volume of Bitcoin is $28.5 billion. Ethereum is at $7.6 billion. Now to be honest guys, the numbers that I'm looking at today is really good. Even if you look at the dominance, Bitcoin's dominance has gone up to 42.30%, and Ethereum's dominance has also gone up to 18.50%. Now in today's episode, I'm going to be looking at the market cap of DeFi protocols and privacy coins. Now just to remind you guys, I'm only looking at the market cap, not the 24-hour trading volume. Uniswap is leading the DeFi market cap at $5.46 billion, followed by Aave at $1.27 billion, and Core Finance at $893 million. Now look guys, these numbers are absolutely terrible. We talk about decentralized finance. Ideally, these numbers should have been at least in the $50 to $80 billion mark, considering the fact that pretty much everyone right now is aware of DeFi, everyone is aware of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I really am hoping in the second half of this year, DeFi definitely picks up pace. The next metric is privacy coins. Monero is on an uptrend and it is currently at $3.06 billion. Zcash is at $627 million and Decred at $380 million. Now look guys, if you are a Bitcoin maximalist and if you're following only Bitcoin, you should be aware of what Stacks is. Now since the last 24 hours, STX is up by 100.9%, and since the last 7 days it is up by well over 180%. So in today's episode, let me very briefly explain to you what is Stacks. Now it is very highly possible that if you're looking at the price when the podcast is released, the prices might be going down, because in CoinMarketCap you can actually track what happens to the price every hour. Now just to give you a very basic overview of what Stacks is, the idea of Stacks is to bring decentralized apps and NFTs on Bitcoin blockchain. Now Stacks has been around for quite some time, so essentially Stacks is a layer 1 blockchain solution designed to bring smart contracts and decentralized apps to Bitcoin blockchain protocols, and these smart contracts are brought to Bitcoin blockchain without changing any of the features that make it so powerful, including its security and scalability. Now one thing you always need to remember guys is the blockchain trilemma problem. It is security, scalability and decentralization, and Stacks is a blockchain that allows developers to build smart contracts and decentralized apps on top of Bitcoin. Now, if you're someone who's working only in the Bitcoin industry, this news should not be a surprise. And one thing which I've been saying in my Crypto and Coffee 88 podcast is, in Bitcoin, there's quite a lot of things that you can do in Lightning Network and Liquid Network. Now listen guys, if you want to explore what are the things you can do in Bitcoin blockchain, look at Blockstream website. There's loads of things you can do in Lightning Network, and there are a plethora of things that you can do in liquid network as well. So far as Stacks is concerned, the platform is powered by Stacks token or XTX, which is used to fueling the execution of smart contracts, processing transactions, and registering new digital assets on the Stacks blockchain. And Stacks uses a consensus mechanism called as proof of transfer, also called as POX, which connects directly with Bitcoin blockchain and has miners to pay in Bitcoin to mint new stacks, and this bootstraps the security of Stacks blockchain using Bitcoin, so it offers the same security of a Bitcoin blockchain. And the unique aspect of Stacks is that its Clarity program language, which is designed to be secure and easy to use thanks to its unambiguous syntax, and this smart contract-centric programming language is also used by Algorand blockchain as well. Now let me try to give out some information so far as its tokenomics is concerned. There are currently 739.7 million STX in circulation, with a total of around 1.82 billion expected to be in circulation by 2050. And Stacks was also the first cryptocurrency to receive SEC qualification for a sale in the US, allowing it to launch a $28 million Regulation A plus sale cash offering for its STX tokens in July 2019. Now, I do believe, guys, that Laura Shin from Unchained Podcast does have an interview with the founders of Stacks. It could be either Laura Shin, or it could be Anthony Pompliano, or it could be Peter McCormack from What Bitcoin Did. I would definitely recommend you guys to go ahead and revisit that episode. So far as I remember, I think the episode might have been released somewhere between 2020, somewhere between 2021, or early 2022. Now, STX is available to trade on several exchanges such as Binance and KuCoin as well. So look, guys, there's quite a lot of things that you can do in Bitcoin blockchain. Now, I wouldn't be surprised in the next few days in LinkedIn I might see some experts on Stacks blockchain, but nonetheless, definitely a brilliant protocol. Now, that thing being said, guys, one of my favorite YouTubers called as Crypto Auras, he has not been a fan of Stacks. I definitely think you need to check out Crypto Auras in YouTube. He does provide some brilliant explanation. It's going to be really interesting to see what his take on Stacks is. Now let's discuss NFTs and blockchain. And last week, guys, we talked about ordinals. And the week before that, I discussed that there were 10,000 NFTs on Bitcoin blockchain. It shot up to 100,000 NFTs on Bitcoin blockchain. Keeping all these things in mind, CoinDesk has published a report. It is essentially an opinion that actually discusses that the recent introduction of the Ordinals protocol, which facilitates the creation of NFTs on Bitcoin blockchain, has also been responsible for the significant increase in the value of Bitcoin. Now, I kind of agree to it. And one thing which I did mention earlier in my podcast a few days ago is that because of that, even the Bitcoin mining industry is kind of happy about it, because when the NFTs are minted on Bitcoin blockchain, the block gets full and the Bitcoin miners are in a position to demand more fees. And Bitcoin.com a few weeks ago did publish a report which did actually claim that the prices of Bitcoin transaction fees did shoot up by 120%. Going back to the opinion by CoinDesk, they've also stated that the recent decision by the SEC in US to exempt Bitcoin from classification as a security has further contributed to a positive outlook for Bitcoin. Now look, guys, Gary Gensler is a massive advocate of Bitcoin and blockchain. Despite what you hear about him in YouTube, despite what cryptocurrency influencers says, he definitely is an advocate of Bitcoin and open blockchain. Now, keeping all these things in mind, these developments have collectively created a bullish sentiment for Bitcoin and has the potential to uplift the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem as well. Now listen, guys, if you're an NFT fan, you definitely need to check out Ordinal blockchain, and you also need to check out Stacks blockchain as well. Now, in summary, what the article by CoinDesk states is that there are two reasons for Bitcoin's recent surge. First is the arrival of Ordinals protocol that has created a new high-value use case for Bitcoin by enabling users to inscribe references to digital art into small transactions onto the blockchain. Secondly, a string of US regulatory actions have highlighted the risks that many non-Bitcoin blockchains will fall afoul of SEC Chairman Gary Gensler's position that most tokens are securities, making Bitcoin more attractive in relative terms to other cryptocurrencies, let's say Ethereum, Solana blockchain, and quite a lot of other. And one thing, guys, which I've often said is, when you talk about Ethereum, ever since they did the merge, even some of the Ethereum maximalists are not happy about it, because 60% of the blocks, or rather over 60% of Ethereum blocks, are OFAC compliant. And this goes against the very ethos of using open blockchain in the first place, because blockchain transactions are supposed to be permissionless, are supposed to be censorship resistant, and quite a lot of other. Keeping all these things in mind, I do very strongly feel that Bitcoin draws from its status as the oldest, most established, and most decentralized protocol. So one question that I'd like to ask to you guys is, Lightning Network, not blockchain. Is this the narrative that'll pump the price of Bitcoin to the moon? Now guys, let's discuss some news regarding the state of Wyoming. Now, I very strongly believe that this is a Republican state, and the US state of Wyoming has passed a bill that protects its citizens from having to disclose the private keys with a singular exception. And this has been approved by the state Senate and House of Representatives. It now simply needs to be signed by the governor in order to take effect. This is absolutely brilliant news, because if the governor does sign the bill would take effect on 1st of July 2023. And I'm pretty much sure that Bitcoin maximalists and cypherpunks and people who talk about privacy and freedom are definitely happy about it. Now look guys, one thing which I've often said in my podcast, politics and politicians do have a very strong power so far as the trajectory and the direction of Bitcoin. Now, ideally speaking, Bitcoin should be apolitical. When will separation of money and the state happen? It might take at least a couple of decades. Now, while this news might sound brilliant, especially for Bitcoin and cypherpunks and for people talking about freedom, my big worry is, what happens in states where this bill is not passed? Could it mean that the citizens are not protected and the state could actually force individual citizens to share their private keys? Just a thought. Now guys, let's discuss some news from MakerDAO, and looks like MakerDAO is planning to merge the DeFi world with traditional finance, and the news is that MakerDAO is voting on 100 million loan application with a bank in Florida called as Cogent Bank, and the bank is proposing to participate with $100 million in loan to MakerDAO's RWA Master Participation Trust. So what will happen is, MakerDAO would use its trust arm to link the capital available to Cognate Bank with MakerDAO's DAI, which is $1 worth of stable coins. So essentially, the trust entity will be responsible for ensuring DAI minting and destruction from the vault, as well as managing the partnership with bank. Now, what are your thoughts, guys? Now, it might sound good, but when you talk about DeFi world, merging it back to traditional finance does not make absolutely any sense. So to be honest, I have mixed reaction to this. Now, the news is good that, the stablecoin is having a partnership with traditional finance, but this goes against the very ethos of having traditional finance in the first place. But nonetheless, just some reason I thought it's really critical that we know what's going to happen in the future of MakerDAO. Could it be possible that over time there are other banks getting into the system as well? And if that thing happens, I really worry if there is some kind of consortium being formed and they have some power in making decisions on MakerDAO, and that's where the whole nature of governance and tokens kicks in. Now guys, let's discuss some news regarding Binance USD. And ever since the drama between SEC going after Paxos and Paxos burning quite a lot of Binance USD, the market cap of Binance USD is going down. And there is an article which is published by Bitcoin.com which states that nearly $3 billion worth of Binance USD stable coins have been removed from the market. And in the article, guys, they've also put out statistics for the last 6 days, which show that a significant amount of Binance USD has been redeemed over the past 6 days, and the supply has dropped by 17.77%. Now listen, guys, when you talk about stable coins, one thing to remember is avoid looking at the market cap. Because let's say, for instance, Tether USDT, the market cap is $70 billion, but they're using only $40 billion. So it's so critical that you look at the 24-hour trading volume, particularly for stable coins, and not necessarily the market cap, because the market cap might give a completely useless picture. But when you talk about cryptocurrencies, it is ideal to look at the market cap. But when you talk about stable coins, try looking at the 24-hour trading volume. Now, since the last 48 hours, the volume of Binance USD has been strong. It hasn't gone down. Now, could it be possible that because people are withdrawing quite a lot of funds, that's the reason why we are seeing an uptick in the 24-hour trading volume? And look, guys, the war between stable coins has been going on for a very long time. Now, in September of last year, Binance did do some notorious activity with Circle USDC. And what I was noticing last year is that the volume of Circle USDC was gradually going up, but ever since September, the volume of Circle USD has been going down and the volume of Binance USD has been going up. So it's going to be really interesting to see once central bank digital currency kicks in, which stablecoin issuer will be leading the stablecoin war. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Binance USD does make a comeback. Or one thing which I often think is there should be a government agency which does actually decide to issue a stablecoin. Will the Central Bank of UAE do that? If they do that, I think it'll be absolutely brilliant. Now guys, let's discuss two news regarding UAE, and let's kickstart with the first news, that is Blockedge Technology Inc. and Suvik Technologies have made a partnership to accelerate Web3 adoption. So let me try to give out some information regarding Blockedge Technologies. And Blockedge Technologies website is blockedge.io, and Blockedge is headquartered in California, US, with a known center based out of Chennai, India. Now, when I was going to the website, I found out that Blockedge is claiming to be an end-to-end blockchain infrastructure management platform to build and scale enterprise blockchains faster. Now listen guys, I really don't like the term enterprise blockchain. You need to have an open blockchain. You cannot categorize a blockchain into different sectors. But nonetheless, let me read out more information. It is also claiming that it is an infrastructure automation platform to manage blockchain applications directly from user interface, and the blockchain as a service platform provides zero-code blockchain solutions and ensure hassle-free integration with existing systems. Now, when they're doing that, guys, they often tend to compromise on blockchain trilemma, and I'm not sure at this point of time if they're compromising on centralization, but Blockedge also offers consulting and advisory services as a seamless blockchain transformation. So if you go to the website, they're offering three services, that is blockchain as a service, blockchain solutions, blockchain consulting services. I really am not sure at this point of time why would you want to use Blockedge, because everything is done by Ethereum. They already have templates such as ERC20 and quite a lot of other. Now let me try to give out some information regarding Suvik Technologies free zone establishments. The group is headquartered in UAE, a country, as you guys know, offers ample opportunities of growth in a stable and vibrant economy, and the group is headquartered in Dubai, UAE. And based on the website, it says that Suvik provides expertise in management consultancy, business setup, blockchain technology solutions, IT and software services, distributed ledger technology services, and corporate advisory services. And the website is suvik.ae, that is S for sugar, U for umbrella, V for Victor, I for India, K for kite.ae. And the news is that Blockedge Technologies and Suvik Technologies free zone establishments have signed a memorandum of understanding to form a joint venture in Dubai. So let me try to give out more information on what news this partnership is all about. So the joint venture aims to create tools that empower organizations globally to migrate to Web3 technologies, and Blockedge brings its infrastructure automation platform, expertise in developing decentralized applications and interoperable blockchain solutions, whereas Suvik Group brings its proprietary trading systems for crypto asset and plugin, a decentralized Oracle platform which is built on XDC network. And the partnership, guys, will focus on Middle East, Asia Pacific and North Africa region. And the joint venture, I believe, will be a 55-45 partnership which is based in Dubai, and the aim of the partnership is to launch decentralized applications across industries with an initial focus on agriculture, healthcare, supply chain and e-commerce. Now look guys, this news might sound great, but to be honest, I do feel that there are very limited use cases of blockchain technologies. And one thing which I often say is, even when I consult businesses and speak to CEOs and startups, when you talk about cryptocurrencies and blockchain, there are very limited use cases. So thinking about that blockchain is a one-stop solution for everything does not cut it. But nonetheless, the joint venture aims to create the required infrastructure layer to encourage and empower over 1,000 organizations in the next 3 years. And Web3 is about building system-backed trust to facilitate trusted peer-to-peer transactions. Now, one thing, guys, which I often said is Web3 has very limited use case. And when I cover the second news, I'll touch base on what the limited use case is. Now, so far as the partnership is concerned, it has a potential to add immense value to the blockchain ecosystem. So essentially what the news claims is that Blockedge is a blockchain technology platform fully dedicated to accelerating blockchain transactions. Once again, guys, there are very limited use case of blockchain technology and Web 3.0, and it's so critical that people truly understand the difference between open blockchain and permission blockchain. Now, what I'd really recommend you to do is go to YouTube and listen to Apollos. He has brilliant YouTube video explaining the pillars of open blockchain. So he talks about open source, publicly verifiable, neutral, censorship resistance, permissionless. So it's so critical that you truly understand these points, keeping in mind the blockchain trilemma problem as well. Now guys, let's discuss the second news, and this is to do with Tykhe Block Ventures. And the news is that Tykhe Block Ventures holds first close of $30 million blockchain growth fund, and they have committed to 25% growth into the MENA region. So let me try to give out some more information. So the website, guys, is Tykhe Block Ventures. So it is spelled as T for Tango, Y for Yellow, K for Kite, H for Harry, E for Elephant Ventures. And Tykhe Block Ventures is a leading investment firm established in the United States of America, and they invest in early stage ventures with the blockchain sector with a focus on distributed ledger technology, digital assets, and their key enabling infrastructure. And Tykhe Block Ventures was started in 2021 by Prashant Malik, who is one of the leading investors in SEA, that is early investor in multiple unicorns like Urban Clap, Shadowfox, Off Business, and CoinSwitch, and widely recognized as a creator of Apache Cassandra, the distributed database used by majority of technology enterprise globally. And when I was trying to research, guys, it's also stated that Prashant Malik built Cassandra when he joined Facebook as one of the earliest employees that was later open sourced as Apache Cassandra. Now, to be honest, I have no information about Apache Cassandra, but if you're someone who's aware about it, you definitely need to check out this company. And the news is that Tykhe Block Venture did hold its first close of $30 million worth of blockchain growth fund, and they are committing to 25% of it into the MENA region. And Tykhe Block Ventures announced the first close of blockchain growth fund, and the fund was led by ultra high net worthy individuals and family offices in Southeast Asia and Middle East. So approximately $10 million of the fund will be allocated to investment in blockchain and Web3 startups in the Middle East. Now, if you're a startup or a business entity working in the so-called Web3 arena, you definitely need to check out Tykhe Block Ventures. And Tykhe is setting up Dubai office and aims to launch a $100 million fund later this year. And the fund managers bring over 30 years of core blockchain investing experience. So look guys, this news sounds absolutely fantastic, considering the fact that Dubai is turning out to be the hub for cryptocurrencies and blockchain, and Tykhe invests in pure decentralized networks and has seen high double-digit returns despite the global downtrend. And guys, as we know that the global Web3 market size is expected to reach $81.5 billion in 2030, and the Middle East, Dubai specifically, is a natural hub for blockchain and cryptocurrency ecosystem. Now that thing being said, guys, it's brilliant news particularly for people in Dubai, but I do have this feeling that lately Dubai is turning out to be a red ocean, and red ocean isn't a bad thing, it just means that there is too much of competition. But one thing just to remind you guys, when you talk about Web 3.0, there are very limited use case. Now rather than using, let's say, your email address to log into a system or protocol, if you're using your private key, which is connected to your public key, which is connected to your public address, that is an area where you're using Web 3.0. Other than that, you have privacy talks. So let's say by using zero knowledge proof or signature sharing, that is where users are in possession of their own content. Now keeping all these things in mind, and particularly Web 3.0, you always need to remember, will Web 3.0 offer a 10x user experience? I don't think so, because when there is a central entity involved, they're able to make changes in order to improve customer service, improve customer experience, and the customer journey is so critical. Think of it, guys. If you're using WhatsApp, what percentage of an improvement is it to, let's say, using your regular mobile phone? Think of emails. What percentage is it better than having your physical mail? Or in email, you can have drafts, you can send pictures, you can do plethora of things. In a physical mail, you can't do that. So it's so critical that you understand that when you talk about Web 3.0, is it offering a 10x better user experience? If it is not, I don't think so Web 3.0 will cut it. But nonetheless, definitely good news. So those were the information from Crypto and Coffee 88 from Blockchain TXP for the 20th of Feb. In case you guys have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxp.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxp.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about metaverse, And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now, for the next few minutes, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, this is George from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a question by Raleigh who asks, do you think Bitcoin is heading to the moon? Unfortunately, I don't think so, Raleigh. I do feel that this might just be a temporary moment. I would really like Bitcoin to head to the moon, but I very strongly feel that once Jerome Powell announces the interest rate, which is on the 22nd of March, there is a very high possibility that the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies could either go up or it could go down. Now, since the last few weeks, there is a lot of movement in Bitcoin, which I think is great, and that is because of NFTs getting into the blockchain, decentralized apps being built. Now, what I think at a macro level, it just gives Bitcoin some more name, but so far as the price is concerned, I wouldn't be surprised if the prices of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies do come back down, especially in the second quarter of this year. Now look, Raleigh, I've been saying this since December, ever since President Biden signed the $1.7 trillion government spending bill towards the end of the year. The prices of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies did actually pump up in January. To be precise, it was the 12th of January when the inflation numbers were out. The prices of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have been pumping up. And when Jerome Powell announced a lower interest rate hike, that's when it pumped up even further. Now, what's going to happen is the $1.7 trillion funding bill is going to cause a lot of inflation numbers to go up. And by the second quarter of this year, I wouldn't be surprised if the inflation numbers pick up pace and Jerome Powell will once again start increasing the interest rate. And unfortunately, Raleigh, I do think that because of that, the prices of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies will go down. Now, what is great is in the meantime, the NFTs being built on Bitcoin blockchain and this whole notion of Lightning Network, not blockchain, is gaining a lot of momentum, and it's brilliant to see that protocols such as Stacks is getting a lot of recognition, but particularly so far as the price is concerned. I wouldn't be surprised. In LinkedIn, I'll be reading through a couple of articles. Looks like people are going to become experts in Stacks blockchain overnight. But what I'd really recommend you to do is, Raleigh, go to the Stacks website, try to get out more information about Bitcoin. And one thing which I mentioned earlier as well, Lightning Network, not blockchain, is definitely getting a lot of momentum. So what I'd really recommend you to do is, Raleigh, go to Blockstream's website. They have a section on Lightning Network and they have a section on Liquid Network. Now, in an idealistic world, Bitcoin is the only thing that should survive. And you have Lightning Network, you have Liquid Network, and quite a lot of things that can be built on top of Lightning Network and Liquid Network. If that thing were to only exist, then yes, Bitcoin will definitely be heading towards the moon. But what I do feel is that the prices of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies might go down, and that trend might continue probably towards the end of this year. And next year, when there is the next halving, 6 to 8 months after the next halving is when I do feel that the prices of Bitcoin will pump to the moon. And most likely this next halving will occur somewhere between April or May of 2024. Now, historically, 6 to 8 months after the halving is when the price of Bitcoin tends to pump up to the moon. But those are my thoughts, Raleigh. I could be miserably wrong. So that's all for today, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about Metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And remember, guys, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And how the series of episodes into Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. Thanks so much for listening and have a nice one. Bye bye.